Let me call Priya ji. सुनो प्रियदर्शना जी को फोन करो. Dhiman ji, wait before going live, please.
I already started. I cannot stop now. Otherwise, it will create an issue.
Okay, that's fine. I don't hear volume, Dhiman bhai. Okay.
Prabhaji, I'm audible?
Yes, you're good, Priyadarshana ji. Thank you.
The volume is very low.
My volume is low?
My volume is low.
Yeah, no, you're fine. That's good. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Today is a special day. It is Kshamapana Day in the Shwetambar tradition and Uttam Kshama in the Digambar tradition. And here at Jaina, we follow both, and that's why we do 18 days of Paryushan. Now, our attendance may be a little low today because now all our Jain centers are open and everybody probably went to their temples, respective temples, to do pratikraman, etc. But that's okay. They will come back and listen to the YouTube recordings of this. So I will quickly introduce the junior speaker today. And our topic is Ekatva Bhavana. But I will also quickly do a few sentences on Uttam Kshama today. First, let us go to the junior speaker. So we have a special situation today. The junior speaker that was going to speak today, her grandmother ended up going to the hospital in ICU a week ago, and they absolutely kind of got distracted. So today they found out, but I applaud their commitment. Her older sister, she prepared the slides today itself, and Jia, our previous presenter, is going to present it because the sister who prepared the slides got COVID and was coughing, so she could not present. But I want to applaud the commitment that the parents, they somehow made it possible. So we will welcome Jia. Let me introduce her. Jia is 14 years old, Jia Ajmera. She goes to St. Charles North High School. And she's in 10th grade. She belongs to Jain Society of Chicago. Her mentors are mom and dad. She has interest in music, dance, socializing, and traveling. Her long-term plans are to have a profession in which she can earn money and help others too. So she may become a doctor, philanthropist, environmentalist, etc., etc. Welcome, Gia. And she will talk about Ria is the person who made the slides. And thank you so much, Gia, for pitching at the last minute and presenting this to us. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, Jai Jinendra, my name is Jia Ajmera, and today I will be talking about Ekatva Bhavna on behalf of Riya and Dhruvi Jain.
A little bit more volume, Gia, please.
Hello, my name is Jia Ajmera, Jai Jinendra. Today I will be presenting Ekatva Bhavna on behalf of Dhruvi and Riya Jain. Let's start with the definition. Ekatva Bhavna essentially refers to solitariness. It means that regardless of anything that happens in our materialistic and worldly life, we came into this world alone and we will live this world alone. Reflection and contemplation. Contemplating Ekatva Bhavna helps us take ownership of our actions and minimizes our attachment to worldly objects and relations. Here's a small passage we can reflect on. I came into this world alone with my own good or bad karmas. Only I am responsible for my actions. I have the opportunity to make the best out of all situations. As long as I'm in this world, I cannot live alone. Therefore, I should build a bridge between myself and other living beings that can take me across without being attached. Understanding Ekatva Bhavna. Another way to think about Ekatva Bhavna is to think about a train ride. We board a train and we make new relations with the other passengers inside. As soon as we reach our destination, we say goodbye. Similarly, our soul enters our body and forms many relations, such as children and siblings, etc. But these relations last only till this body lasts. At the time of death, the soul has to leave this body and go all alone, leaving behind all these relations. This is a quote by Sri Ashish Jain. Now, I would like to share a story of Nami Rajashri and how he observed Ekatva Bhavna in his own life. King Nami was very wealthy.
Yeah, 1 second. Your voice is coming and going. Can you please be close to your laptop so it's consistent, please? Thank you.
King Nami was very wealthy. He had many young wives and was living a happy life. One day, the king developed burning sensation all over the body. The sensation steadily grew and became intense and unbearable. Many physicians attempted to cure him, but nothing helped. After a lot of search, one expert physician recommended applying sandalwood paste all over his body. The queen themselves started making paste by grinding sandalwood on hard stone. Since they were all wearing bangles, it created a loud jingling sound. The king was already in a lot of pain, and he could not bear the loud noise. He asked them to either stop grinding the sandalwood or do it quietly. So the queens kept only one bangle on each hand and removed the rest, stopping the sound altogether. This made an unexpected impact on the mind of Nami Rajashri. He realized the importance of solitude, the significance of ekatva. Having more things to deal with causes more problems. It creates unnecessary hustle and bustle, while peace lays in solitariness. He thought that one bangle, it is in peace. When there were more bangles, it created such a nuisance. Just like that bangle, as long as I live with other people, I will not be able to find peace and bliss. Instead, if I focus on my eternal blissful soul, I will be able to achieve peace and liberation. While in this contemplation, he recollected his previous lives. He decided that when he recovers from the pain, he will renounce the worldly life and become a sadhu. After making such a resolve, he went to bed. When he woke up in the morning, he found himself completely recovered from his illness. He kept resolution and took Diksha. Once Lord Indra took a disguise and tried to persuade him otherwise, as a test of his determination. Nami Rajashri passed the test. He told Indra, "Each and every object you are telling me is mine does not really belong to me. I am on my own. I am a lone traveler and desire to be within myself." I would like to end this by a quote by Srimad Rajchandraji. "This soul of mine is alone. It has come alone and will go alone, will bear the fruits of his deeds alone. To contemplate thus from the deep realms of consciousness is the fourth Ekatva Bhavana." Jai Jinendra, thank you for listening, and Michami Dukram if I said anything against the teachings.
Thank you very much, Jia. You did a wonderful job considering you had to pitch in such a last minute. Very well spoken. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so today is our day of Samvatsari, which Kshamapana Pratikraman Day and Uttam Kshama Day in the Digambar tradition. So from my side, I want to ask forgiveness to all of you, first to my own soul for not being with it all the time, and to all the souls from Ekendriya all the way to Panchendriya, to all of you people who are listening, if by knowingly or unknowingly I have offended you, said something that may have hurt you. Michami Dukram. Now, today is Uttam Kshama Day. So first of all, Jia just read that quote. I'm going to quickly sing it in Hindi. आप अकेलो अवतरे मरे अकेलो होय यूं कबहू इस जीव को साथी सदा न को. Basically, it just means that you come alone, you go alone. And in this world, for this jeev, there is really no true companion or relative or friend. Of course, we have temporary friends, temporary relatives, but there is no true companion. Now, I'm going to briefly talk about Uttam Kshama, which is today the day, and we are not covering those topics in the lectures this year. Our topics are different. So we are going to briefly talk about it just a minute or two. So we forgive those who have wronged us and seek forgiveness from those who we have wronged. Forgiveness is sought not just from human colleagues, but from all living beings ranging from 1 sense to 5 sense. If we do not forgive or seek forgiveness, but instead harbor resentment, we bring misery and unhappiness on our own selves. And this is, we can understand this by example of fire. So something that is hot, fire has to burn itself before it can burn something else. So same way, if we hold resentment towards others, we are first hurting ourselves and then the person that you have resentment against. So that is something to understand and not keep resentments towards anybody. Forgive them and ask forgiveness. Forgiveness is directed to oneself. The soul in a state of mistaken identity or false belief assumes that it consists of body, the karmas and the emotions, likes, dislikes, anger, pride, etc. Truly, none of those we are. As a result of this incorrect belief, it inflicts pain upon itself and is thus the cause of its own misery. Nishchay Kshama Dharma teaches the soul to correctly identify itself by encouraging it to contemplate in its true nature and hence achieve the state of right belief. Samyak Darshan. It is only by achieving Samyak Darshan that the soul ceases to inflict pain on itself and attains supreme happiness. Jai Janendra and Michami Dukram. Now we will turn over to our speaker of the day. I will introduce Priyadarshana ji. We are all very familiar with us. She has been with us last year as well as the first lecture was by her. So I'll do a brief introduction. Priyadarshana ji is from Rajasthan, living in Chennai. She's MA, MPhil, and PhD in Jain Studies. She also holds a diploma in Prakrit and master diploma in naturopathy and yogic sciences. She is a professor and head of Department of Genealogy, University of Madras, Chennai. She is a resource person for International School for Jain Studies, where she has been teaching foreign scholars for past 15 years. She was part of an interfaith religious delegation sponsored by US Department of State, wherein she represented Jainism at different cities in the USA. She has written, edited, translated, and published books and articles. She is a resource person for Parmagam Honors Course, wherein she is currently handling 3 batches internationally. She has 55 full-time students who are doing their masters in Jain studies under her at the University of Madras. And she has 3 PhD students who have graduated under her. So without much delay, we will turn it over to Priyadarshana ji. You're talking on mute, I think, Priya ji. Unmute, please.
Yeah. Sorry. And thank you, Prabhaji, for the kind introduction, for all the kind words. There are more than 8 PhD students who have graduated. 8 people have got their
I
degree.
apologize for the mistake.
Yeah. So it's okay, doesn't matter. But then 8 people have already completed their PhD. So yeah. So first of all, Michhami Dukram to one and all. We did our Pratikraman yesterday. And I beg forgiveness from one and all. Paroksh Rup se I have done it. While I did my Pratikraman, Khamemi Savve Jiva Khamantu me, Mitti me Savva Bhuyesu, Veram Majham na Kenai. I forgive all creatures and I beg forgiveness from all. I have friendship with all and enmity towards none. That was the Michhamri. And today is a beautiful day here in Chennai now. It's morning 6 a.m. now. So good morning from India side and good evening from the US platform. Yeah, so it is 6:16 now. So I'll take around 50 minutes, Prabhaji.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your
40
time.
minutes. What is the time you allowed? Okay.
It's about 6:15, 6:17 your time. So take till about 7 o'clock.
7:05. Okay.
7:05, 7:10 is okay.
Because the topic is so beautiful that if I start talking, there's no end to it. There's no end to it. And what I'm going to give you is only hints. So you have to understand most of the things that go unsaid. Okay, friends? Yeah. So Jai Janendra one and all. And thank you, Jaina, and thank you, Prabhaji, for the wonderful arrangements that you're making. It's a beautiful flyer and logo. I wish I could have it there behind me. But then it's not possible right now for me. It's early morning and a lot of tapasya going on around. You know, my husband did the 3 days upas, my niece doing 9 days upas. We all have to go for the pratyakyan and all those kind of things, you know, hari bari. But still, I'm at peace and I'm in the ekatva bhavna very much, and I'm very much here for all of you. Yeah. So I really enjoy the Jaina lectures that Prabhaji arranges, and I hope you all will enjoy this presentation. Not presentation, the oral presentation that I'm going to make for you. So Guru Kripa se, I would like to start with the Mangalacharan first. Ajnanati mirandhana ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I bow down to the Jnana Guru who has opened my eyes and brought me out of the immense darkness of ignorance and given me the eyes of right knowledge. Yeah. So today we are to do the Ekatva Bhavana. Ekatva Bhavana is contemplation on the solitariness of the world, of the soul in this big, bad, mad world. Okay, I hope you understand. Ekatva means oneness. Bhavana means contemplation or reflection. So it is mentally, it's a mental exercise. All the bhavanas are mental exercises so that we master them and enter into the spiritual realm. But if we do not enter into the spiritual realm, these mental exercises will shape your future. And maybe in future, again, you will get to be a Jain and get to be spiritually oriented until and unless you really have that experience. Okay, friends. So Bhav and Bhavana, there are two words. If you want, you can note down because you all know Prabhaji is a taskmaster and we'll be having a set of questions. So Bhav and Bhavana, what is the difference? So Bhav is for a nanosecond. It is very, very minuscule time period that we have. It is not the thoughts. It is the psychic activity. It is in our subconscious mind, in our conscious mind, what goes on. The mind only knows it. Okay. So when we voluntarily think something and contemplate on that bhav, it becomes bhavana. For example, so you have lost somebody in your family or in your community, and we go to the burial ground. So that time we are filled with the vairagya bhav. Oh yes, everybody has to come to the marghat. Marghat means what? The cemetery. Okay, that is one thought. But the next minute we are searching for our mobile, we are searching for our footwear, we are trying to fix an alliance of our child with somebody, or trying to fix a business deal in the burial ground or in the cemetery that we are. So what happened to that momentary bhav? It was only a bhav. It was only a disposition. We call bhav as disposition, psychic dispositions. Okay. And then when you pursue it relentlessly, consistently, continuously for a longer period of time, we call it as bhavana or reflection or contemplation. So in Jainism, if we take the scheme of Chedhala, Chedhala is a very beautiful text, and I'm born and brought up in a Shwetambar tradition and the Shwetambar way. But then now with this Parmagam studies and my exposure to almost now 25 years of Digambar literature studies, I just came across this Chedhala. And in the scheme of Chedhala, how do we understand the Bhav and Bhavana? I would like to fix it and then associate it with Dasalakshan and then take my lecture forward. So first of all, what is Dhal? Dhal is the, the shield that a soldier wears when he goes on the battlefield. He goes with a sword and a shield. The sword is to attack the enemy and the shield is to protect oneself against all the arrows that are thrown on him. So here in Jainism, in Chedhala, they're talking about the 6 shields a soul should wear to, to protect oneself against the karmas and the kashai, and to attack the karma and the kashai and to come out as a conqueror. Okay, so the first dhal tells us about the suffering in this world. The second dhal tells us about the cause, the reason for the suffering. And the third dhal tells us a way out. So the second one tells us that false faith, knowledge, and conduct is the cause of suffering. And the third dhal tells you about that right faith, right knowledge, right conduct is a way out of suffering. And the fourth dhal gives the details of the third dhal and it goes and extends up to the Shravak Vratas, the Charitra part, the conduct part. And in the sixth dhal, you don't have to remember all this. No exam from this, okay, right now. And in the sixth dhal, they talk about the code of conduct of an ascetic. What about the fifth dhal? So fifth dhal, they elaborate the 12 anuprekshas or the 12-fold contemplations. So now the reason for this is that if a Shravak, the fourth dhal that spoke about Shravak, if a Shravak does not take to the 12-fold contemplations, he cannot enter into the ascetic code of conduct. That is the content of the sixth dhal. And if a Muni in the sixth dhal, the Muni Achar, he does not have the 12-fold contemplations, he will fall down. And that is why it is placed fifth. So that you understand that this 12-fold anuprekshas is food for the soul. It is food for a seeker who wants to tread on the path of liberation, be it a householder or be it an ascetic. Okay, friends. So this is the importance of the 12-fold bhavanas. Now coming to the four bhavanas, the first four bhavanas. For the past 3 days, you have been contemplating or listening about the 3 bhavanas. What are those 3 bhavanas? The first one was contemplation on the ephemeral nature of the world. That is anitya bhavana. Everything is anitya. Oh, that is one part of the truth. The second part of the truth or the bhavana is, I am nitya. I am eternal. I am eternal. So I am fearless. No death for me. Why do I have to fear death? But we all know how much of fear we all have. And that is why in Namo Thunam we say, Namo Jinanam Jiya Bhayanam. Oh, I bow down to the jinas and Jiya Bhayanam. I have conquered all fear. So right from our childhood, we have been bowing down to the jinas, but have we conquered the fear? That means we do not know how to bow down. Or we are bowing down to them, but the way we are supposed to venerate is totally different. That we are going to learn through the 12-fold contemplations, or at least I'll be doing at least 3 contemplations for you, 3 bhavanas. Today I'll be doing the Ekatva bhavana, and then I'll be doing the Lokaswarupa bhavana and the Bodhi Durlabh bhavana. Okay, friends. So 3 days I'll be discussing through through these 3 bhavanas, the process of self-realization, self-purification, and self-conquer, which is the purpose of all Jain studies. Okay, so I was talking about the 4 bhavanas. The first bhavana is contemplation on the ephemeral nature of the world. Whatever comes in contact with you, it comes to get disassociated. All association is followed with disassociation. Your parents brought you in the world. They will not be with you forever. You brought the children in the world. They are not going to be with you forever. Your parents are not with you. Your children are not with you. Your wife, your husband, your spouse, your neighbors also may or may not be with you forever. Okay, and your youth, your childhood, that is also gone. Your wealth also is there, or it may be gone. But still you are there. And if you learn to value yourself, and then you can proceed towards right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. So in whatever situation you are, whether you are alone or whether you're in a group, so that we come across 2 words, alone and lonely. Being alone and enjoying the company of oneself is a great virtue. It's a great, great virtue. All Siddha Bhagwan are enjoying their own company. But we don't know to enjoy our own company. That is what we have to learn. That will only bring us out of the cycle of transmigration. And when we don't have our own company, even though we may be in a group and we may feel lonely. And even if you're alone in the forest, you have your own company, then you can be on the path of liberation. So you look, when a Muni goes to the forest, what does he take with him? He takes with him the spirit of the 12-fold contemplations. He takes with him the Pancha Parameshti Sharana, and through the Pancha Parameshti, he takes Atma Ki Sharana. He takes refuge, he takes shelter in his pure soul. And he has the metaphysics, the Jain Tattva Gyan. Nothing else is with him. In the dark, deep forest full of animals, any moment, any animal can attack him. And he knows how to live in his pure soul and how to embrace death whenever it has to come. So you see the strength of Bara Bhavana that guides a monk on the path of liberation, who is fighting the karmas, who is fighting the kashai. Kashai is our lower self, and karma is the subtle material body that engulfs our soul, the bondage soul. Okay, friends. So being alone is a great virtue, and that we are going to learn today. And I hope you all, by the end of this session, you will all, I'll make you practice also. I'll make you practice how to enjoy your own company. If I forget, please ask me in the question answer session. Okay, friends. Yeah. So second bhavana was everything is what to say, asharan. Because everything is ephemeral, nobody can give me permanent shelter. How can momentary things give me permanent shelter? So it is foolishness to seek permanent shelter in impermanent things. That was the asharana bhavana. Asharana means contemplation on the shelterless nature of all material things. So when your children are not with you, remember that nobody can give you shelter. Your parents are not with you. You cannot give them shelter. They cannot give you shelter. Your karma is good, so your family is with you. Your karmas are gone or the package has changed, the whole scenario changes. 1 minute, everybody was together, and the next minute, we just close our eyes and we just pass out. But do we really know how to pass out of this world? So if you know how to pass out of this world, you have passed the examination of life and death. But if you don't know to pass out of this world, and if we die in remorse or in grief, then we have lost a life. And our next life will be constructed on the bhav of this life. So everything is bhav oriented. So we say, no, bhave, bhavana, bhaviye, bhave dije dan, bhave dharma aradhiye, bhave keval gyan. So in your bhav only keval gyan is hidden. In your bhav only everything is bondage and liberations. So that is why the 12 bhavanas are to correct our bhav so that we get the right bhav of samyak darshan gyan charitra and come on the path of moksha. Okay, friends. So the second bhavana, I hope you all have understood that nobody can give permanent shelter in this world. So it is futile to seek shelter in this world. So when we contemplate, oh, then where is the shelter? Then we had this bhavana that Shuddhatam Aru Panchaguru, Jagame Sharana Doi, Moha Uday Jiyake Vratha, An Kalpana Hoy. That means what? That Shuddhatam and Panchaguru, the pure soul, and the 5 Parmeshti, they are only the true refuge. Everything else is only an imagination. It is all fascination or fallacies. That it is all a mind game. So that was the second bhavana. Now the third bhavana was sansar bhavana. Because everything is ephemeral, everything is shelterless, so they are without any essence. There is no sar in them. They are futile. The purusharth to go behind the ephemeral things in the world is asar. Asar means no essence. Then where is the essence? The essence is in me. I am the God, I am the Guru, and I am the Dharma. Being in that I am is Deva, Guru, Dharma, Puja, Bhakti, and devotion, adoration, everything. So that is the fourth bhavana, the Ekatva bhavana. So adoration of the pure soul, oneness with the pure soul, understanding the ephemeral, momentary, and futile or worthless. They're of no use to me. So that kind of these 3 bhavanas should lead to the fourth bhavana. That is why the Ekatva bhavana is placed fourth. You understand? So now what is this Ekatva bhavana? Now my topic starts. What I was giving you was a prelude to the Ekatva bhavana. So what is Ekatva bhavana? I'll tell you there are 100 sets of couplets, verses related to the 12 bhavanas. Okay, you have Bhavanas, Raja Rana Chhatrapati by Pandit Bhudar Das ji. You have Dravya Thaki Roop Kari Sarvasthir, Dravya Roop Kari Sarvasthir by Pandit Jaichand ji. Then you have by Mangat Rai ji. And then you have by so many people. So it was, just give me a minute, just give me a minute. I'm sorry, there was somebody at the doorbell and nobody to attend. Yeah. So, with 100 sets of Bara Bhavnas are there. So, in that, I'm going to talk about only one or two couplets, because the most popular one is that Raja Rana Chhatrapati. There they tell, Aap akela avtare, mare akela hi. So, we come alone in this world, we go alone from this world. है ना, यूं कबहू या जीव को साथी सगो न कोई. In this way, there is no eternal companion of the soul. So in India, we call the wife as Dharma Patni. She's called Ardhangini, right? You have Shiva, you have Shiva and Parvati, Ardhanarishwar, right? So, so Dharma Patni means what? Your partner who will help you to tread on the path of Dharma, who will help you to tread on the path of Dharma. She is Dharma Patni. But today, we all have our life partners. For what? To go for globetrotting, to go to hotels, to go to malls, to go for movies, and to gossip, right? And not just partners, we search for friends who will like our Facebook images, who will like our Facebook comments. So we are only interested in rag. We are not interested in the soul, because being interested in the soul is a blow on rag, which the mohaniya kashaya atma does not want it. So it will engage you in rag only. It will engage you in rag and never allow you to come on the path of vitarag. So how to come on the path of vitarag? It is through the 12-fold contemplations. So when you take to these 12-fold contemplations, only then the oneness with the soul will be established. And only when the oneness with the soul is established, the true dharma will begin. The Dasalakshan dharma will begin. That is why very meticulously, very thoughtfully, we thought, okay, through Bara Bhavna, let us do the Dasha dharma. Okay, friends. Okay. So now coming back, is it clear? You understand the context in which we have to understand the Ekatva Bhavna, that we are alone. So we need not feel sad about it. There is something to rejoice about it. So then Bhudar Das ji told us about Aap Akela Avtare, and Jaichand ji tells us that Paramaarth te Atma, Ek Roop hi Joy, Karma Nimit Vikalp Ghane, Tin Nase Shiv Hoy. Very beautifully, Jaichand ji tells us that Paramarth means philosophically, metaphysically, actually, really, essentially. That is the meaning of Paramarth. Okay, from the Paramarth, from the essence point of view, Atma is of beautiful divine nature. Ek roop hai. Okay, because of the nimit means the association with karma, the Atma gets many vikalpa. Vikalp means thoughts, psychic dispositions, bhav, all kinds of thoughts, you know. They keep, like how the ocean is full of water, the mind is full of thoughts. But yet the Atma is a knower and seer and non-doer. Understand this. Tin nase, when you understand the reality of the soul, then all the vikalp, all the thoughts, your mind will rest. Man pave vishram. You will conquer your mind. You'll become the master of your mind. When you become the master of your mind, you become the master of the universe. But if you're not the master of your own mind and your own self, then you are a slave. You matlab we matlab the jeev. Okay, not just any personal you over here. It is collective for all the jeev in this universe. Whether they know it or not, believe it or not, accept it or not. That universal and secular, these Jain concepts are. Okay, so when you understand that oneness with the soul, then because of the nimit of the karma, the uday, the rise on the karma, and the corresponding bhav that you were having of hunger, of enjoyment, etc., 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 and searching for company in this world, all those thoughts are changed. First of all, change means transformed. There's a complete transformation. All kinds of irrelevant, repetitive, nonsensical thoughts that were bothering the soul find rest. And what emerges is right faith, right knowledge, right conduct, enlightenment, and eventually it will be omniscience and the moksha state. So you understand the journey, how it begins with understanding the self, the reality, and then overcoming all the lower self, the lower ego, and overcoming all these mind, body, speech activities. And then Shiva Hoi. Shiva Hoi means welfare, Kalyan, Mangal. All auspicious things will happen once you understand the beautiful nature of the pure soul. So that is the essence of the couplet given by Pandit Jayachandji, that Paramaarth te Atma. Eka Rupa hi joy. So what is that Eka Roop? Now taking from the Samesar language, we have what is the most beautiful thing in the entire universe. And there the Acharyas tell us that Ekatva Vibhakta Nija Bhagavan Atma. I'll give you the English translation, please don't worry, is the most beautiful thing in the entire universe. Ekatva means the oneness with the soul. Vibhakta means different from all that is the non-soul. So ekatva means oneness with the soul. That is vibhakta. Vibhakta means different from all that is the non-soul. Nij. Nij means the pure self. And Bhagwan Atma. God-like Atma. Siddha Bhagwan like Atma is the most beautiful thing. They don't say Arihant is beautiful. They don't say Siddha is beautiful. They don't say Samosharan is beautiful. They don't tell you that Ashta Pratiharya are beautiful. They are beautiful. But when you look at those beautiful things, you will have rag. But when you look at your own beautiful self, you will have Vitaragata. And how to look at the beautiful self? That is Ekatva Bhavana. First, I want to look at the beautiful self. I want to have oneness with the beautiful self. That contemplation is Ekatva Bhavana. And Ekatva Bhavana causes influx of karma. You keep doing the Bhavana, but you're not exerting according to your Bhavana. For example, I have the Bhavana. Bhavana means a wish, a desire that I want to come to US or I want to go to the moon. But I'm not doing anything to register with NASA or to get a ticket or to anything. So my bhavana remains only in paper. It is not what to say, materialized. So when our bhavanas materialize, only then real dharma starts. Only then the Dasalakshan dharma will start. Okay, so don't think that, oh, we did Paryushan, we did Dasalakshan, dharma dhyan ho gaya. No. ये धर्म की क्रिया हुई है, धर्म नहीं हुआ है. Dharma is something different, and you don't need 10 years of Paryushan, you don't need 100 years of Samaik. It is 148 minutes, perfect 48 minutes, oneness with the soul. If we can establish transcending the body, mind, and speech, then the real dharma starts, and accomplishment of the dharma through realization of the pathway of Ratnatraya, everything happens. Okay, that's a different topic altogether. So maybe next year we can do it. I don't know. So you understand. So first, I am beautiful. I am Satya. I am the truth. I am Shiv. I am Sundar. Satyam Shivam Sundar. Even though you may not know the meaning of it. Just enjoy the thought that I am the most beautiful thing in this universe. Now, I'll tell you that with the help of 5 fingers. Can I request you all to keep your 5 fingers? This is my Panditji Sumat Prakashji's example, and I really adore him, and I really follow him and listen to his lectures, and he has changed the way we look at Jainism and everything. So please, please, please keep these 5 fingers, and you can name them. You can name them, you can take notes, you can listen to the recording again, and you can comment in the YouTube channel, all the comments I will see over there. You can mark it to me at Priyadarshana Jain. We love this, 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 this. I'll follow the comments. I'm going to follow your comments. You will follow the YouTube lectures, and you will forward this lecture to one and all. Let it go viral. Let the people understand what real Jainism is. Okay, so you will comment what you're going to do with the knowledge of these 5 fingers. I will post it to Panditji. Okay, so first of all, you have to understand that put yourself here, your pure soul, which is like Siddha Bhagwan, which is the Gyan Swabhav, the knower and seer, the Gyata Drashta Bhagwan Atma. Nij Atma is this finger. Is it clear? Sarojini ji, Rupal ji, I can see you very attentively listening to me. Very good. Thank you. Yes, Sonal ji, Prabha ji. So we have ourself over here. Now, other than your eternal pure self, the eternal pure self, which was their past life, which is there in the present, and which will be forever, that soul, you put it over here. You don't know about the soul, it doesn't matter, but put yourself here. Okay, other than your pure soul, everything else in this universe, your body, your karma, your kashai, your family, and Pancha Parameshti, Dev, Guru, Shastra, your Jainism, everything, you put it over here. The second finger. Is it clear? Now, all our life, we ignore this pure self, and we are after this. Either we will be with the inauspicious mind, body, speech activities, or the auspicious activities. Ya to Shubh Bhav, ya Ashubh Bhav. We look at them and we keep doing. Who does the Bhav? This Jeev does. Looking at them. So when this Jeev looks at them and takes to the Bhav or Bhavana, then it will get influx of karma and bondage, asrav and bandha. Put them in this finger, please. Put them in this finger, asrav and bandha. But reading Jainism, looking at Dev Shastra Guru, this Jeev understands itself. This Jeev has faith in itself. This Jeev believes that happiness is in myself. Okay, the faith, first the faith that happiness is here and not anywhere here. So first having faith in this, having knowledge of this, and believing in this, and being in this, enjoying being in this. Then what happens? Samvar and Nirjara. Stoppage of karma, influx of karma, and bondage stops. This drops, and what is there? Samvar and Nirjara. Shedding of karma starts. Karma starts shedding. And when this jiva absorbs in itself, what happens is moksha, is liberation. You get me, friends? You get me? So the message of the 5 fingers is, I take responsibility for myself. I'm not responsible for the whole world. I will do my best for the world that I am in. But at the same time, I will be responsible for each and everything that I think, I utter, a word, and the deeds I do. Because they say, no, footprints on the sands of time. Footprints, as you have a carbon imprint when you travel by the flight, you have a carbon imprint when you take to the activities of mind, body, and speech. So if you don't take to these activities, you're not leaving any karma imprint, so you won't be born again to enjoy the fruit of it. You understand? So how to go beyond the body, mind, and speech? Look at Paramatma. Look at all the images of Bhagwan. What are they telling us? The legs on the legs, there's nothing in this world to travel. The hands on the hands. On your left hand, you have the right hand, and then you have the mudra, the thumb touching the thumb, and on your navel part. Sit without without resting your arms down. How long can you sit? How long do we know to sit? We don't know to sit. So, Vitaraga Mudra, hands on the hands, do nothing. Eyes semi-closed. Nasagra Drishti, watch inside. There's nothing to see in this world. And whatever you see in the world, you take to Ragdvesh, and again you take to Asravban. So stop seeing in the world. Look at yourself. Know the knower, see the seer, observe the observer, experience the experience. That is Ekatva Bhava. Okay? And then they are not talking anything. Vachan se bhi maun. Nasagra Drishti. So when you have discipline, when you have discipline your physical body through pranayam, through preksha dhyan or vipassana or whatever it is, then you go beyond the mind state. That is the dharana, dhyan and samadhi of Ashtanga. So you understand? So the message is, come unto yourself. Silently, without uttering a word, they are telling you, don't come to me. Look, I have come to myself. I'm telling you to go to your own self. You know that lovely bhajan we all sing, no? Tumse lagi lagan. Then, what is the next line? Le lo apni sharan. That means what? Hey Prabhu, tumse lagi lagan. How Meera adores Krishna, I'm adoring you. And you know what Bhagwan is telling you? Le lo apni atma ki sharan. If you really adore me, then look, I'm doing the adoration of my pure soul. You also do the adoration of your pure soul. That is the commandment of Paramatma. Not one or two, but Ananta Aryanta Siddha Bhagwan. In the Dhyana Mudra, they are silently giving us this message. Thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. Know thyself. So when you know yourself and absorb in yourself, that is the real Ekatva Bhavana. That is the fruit of the Ekatva Bhavana. Okay, that is the fruit of the Ekatva Bhavana, and that is when the spiritual experience, the spiritual life begins. Okay, so now why, as I told you that this Nij Bhagwan Atma is the most beautiful thing. So why is it worth pursuing? What will I benefit? See, if I do the material degrees, then I will get material wealth. I'll be a CEO of a big company. I'll get a big fat salary. I'll get a beautiful Mercedes Benz, this, that, etc., etc. These are the things I will get if I attach value to the studies that I take up. So likewise, what is the benefit if I pursue adoration of this Nij Bhagwan Atma? Then it is told that why it is beautiful? Because I am Gyan Swabhav. And everything else in this universe are objects of knowledge. They are Gaya. They are not Gyan. This book does not know that this is a book. They are all reflected in my Gyan. My Chaitanya is like a mirror which reflects anything and everything that comes in it, the mind, and the knowledge knows it and the vision sees it. That is what is that? I told you, no? Ek roop hai Atma. Clear? So this, we have not understood this reality, and we say, oh God, I got karma, I got kashai, I got this, I got... Nothing has happened to you. It's all in the mind. There's a very big, thick wall of ignorance between us and the reality. So when you get a glimpse of the reality and you desire to be one with it, or you have the thought to be one with it, then that is called Ekatva Bhava. That is called, oh, I want my pure soul. I want my pure soul. I don't want anything else in this world. I give more importance to myself than to anything and everything in this world. That is when you start researching on your pure soul. So the greatest research is, listen to me carefully, not from the test point of view. The greatest research is researching on the researcher. Who is the one who is knowing? Who is the one who is trying to find things? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? When you search answers for these questions, then only the real dharma dhyan starts. So there's one very beautiful arati of Srimad Rajchandra. So it says, Pehli arati Prabhu ne jigyasu karta, Prabhu jigyasu karta, Nij pad laksh lahite, Nij pad laksh lahite, मिथ्यामति हरता Jayadev, Jayadev. That means what? The adoration of Nij Bhagwan Atma is done by a seeker. A seeker eventually becomes a person with right faith. And a person with right faith will eventually become a ascetic, a muni. And a muni only will eventually become arihanta. And a arihant only will eventually become siddhava. So what is the first baby step that we have to take is to be a jigyasu. Jigyasu means jigyasa rakhna. Jigyasa means query. How children are very inquisitive to know things, like that we have to be inquisitive about our peers. And when you become inquisitive, just listen to me, friends, the whole universe will help you to achieve it. But if you're not inquisitive and blindly you keep taking to the practices, you're satisfied with them, that means you're not a seeker, then you will get only limited fruit and not anantanubandhi fruit. We will get only anantanubandhi kashai. That will take us into the infinite sansar. But when we take to being a seeker, then what we get is ananta anubandh karne wala sukh and eternal bliss and happiness. So you had the example of Nami Raja Rishi. Beautiful example. I request you all, whether you're from Digambar, Shwetambar background, don't worry. Read the 9th chapter of Uttaradiyan Sutra. 9th chapter of Uttaradiyan Sutra, Nammi Pavajja. So, and I would recommend this book. It is by Hastimalji Maharaj Sahib, volume 1, 2, and 3 of Uttaradiyan Sutra. If you can get it from E. Jain Library, and tune in to the 9th page of this Uttaradiyan Sutra, Bhagwan Mahavir ki Antim Upadesh. And I'll tell you how much I love this chapter. And there, just by the nimit of the sound of bangles, Namiraj woke up to realizing himself and walking on the path of the great path of renunciation and enlightenment. And the reference is the 9th chapter of Uttaradiyan Sutra. So I cannot do the whole chapter for you, but I would love to do it sometime. All the 32 agam, the 45 agam, the chapters there. I'm doing it for the Prakrit certificate and diploma program and at the Parmagam course. So for me, like people say that we have to do all the material work, household course, and then whatever little time we get, we do our studies. I say that 24/7 I am into my studies. Whatever little time I get, I go and do my kitchen work, I do my office work, I do my bacha bachi ka work, everything. So your whole fabric of your lifestyle will change when you understand yourself. You'll give more importance and you'll create more space for your spiritual goal, and your material interests will automatically decline. So now you're not binding the Anantanubandhi Kasha. Right? Whatever little Kasha is there, that can be checked eventually. So that is how the transformation will begin. So now I just told you that we associate happiness with material things and with the ephemeral things. But real happiness, friends, is not in Atma bolne se bhi Atma you're not going to realize. You have to understand that Atma is Gyan Swabhav. Now to explain this Gyan Swabhav, again, I will need 5 fingers, which I will do it sometime later. Looking at the time, I have to wind up now my session. So real happiness is in right knowledge. That means right understanding of one's own self. When you understand means when you know yourself correctly. And that you will know only when you read the Jain literature, and that too from the logic point of view, from Anekant point of view, from Nikshep point of view, from Praman and Naya point of view. When you read that, you will know what right knowledge is. And when you pursue that right knowledge, you will get a real happiness. So when should we contemplate on these bhavanas? Sukh mein, dukh mein, janam mein, maran mein, yash apayash. If somebody abuses you, contemplate. Oh, I'm alone. He's only abusing the name and the form that is before him. He does not know my pure soul. So no worry. Somebody is praising you. Oh, he's praising me. He's praising the Priya that is with the karmas. He does not know the real me. So don't get carried away by the praise. Don't get carried away by the remorse when somebody leaves you. Take them as learning lessons. So लाखों वर्षों तक जीऊं या मृत्यु आज ही आ जावे, अथवा कोई कैसा ही भय या लालच देने आवे, तो भी न्याय मार्ग से मेरा कभी न पग डिगने पावे. Whether I live for lakhs of years, millions of years, or today if I die, somebody abuses me or praises me, I should not deviate from the path of Nyay. Nyay means coming closer to truth. Naya means coming closer to truth. See, for whatever happens, like for example, now you have the Ankita murder case or Sonali Fogart's murder case. So what they're doing the investigation. Okay, who murdered, that is not important. Why they murdered, what was the intention of the murder, and how did they murder? Everything they dramatize again, and they establish the facts, and then they pronounce the punishment. So likewise, how in the investigation field, they go deeper and deeper to establish the facts, what happened exactly. Likewise, we have to go deeper and deeper into Jain philosophical studies and understand the truth, and then only the real the transformation begins and the dhyan begins. So we take to the full contemplation at all times. Sukh mein, dukh mein, din mein, raat mein. I'll give you some practical examples. For example, you're entering your house. Tell yourself, I'm entering my pure soul. Supposing you're eating, you tell, I'm enjoying being the pure soul. The body is eating. I'm only knowing that the body is eating. I'm a knower and seer. When you're sleeping, oh, the body is sleeping. I'm only knowing and seeing that the body is sleeping. You understand? So whatever work you're doing, like for example, I'm talking to you right now. What am I telling to myself? I'm not talking. I'm only the knower and seer who is knowing that somebody is sitting here and talking. That somebody is Priya, and that is the karma package that is doing all these things. I'm not the one who is talking. Even though I'm talking, we have to understand. That's why they say, no, the first couplet of Pandit Jayachandji, Bara Bhavna, beautiful it is. Dravya thak roop kari sarva sthir, parjay sthir hai kaun, dravya drishti apa lakho, parjay nay kari gaun. That means from the dravya point of view, everything is eternal in this world. And from the modification, avastha, paryay point of view, everything is changing. Even moksha is a paryay. Samyak darshan is a paryay. Keval gyan is a paryay. Don't be mad after the paryay. Focus on the dravya. That is also, I think, when Prabhaji told Atma Swarup, Dravya Swarup pe dhyan karna, when she spoke about her Anuyog, that time also she told. So have the Dravya Drishti. Focus on the eternal pure soul that you are. Apa means apni atma ko lakho. Lakho means dekho. Dekho means what? See, know, believe. And then only your third eye will open. Shiva, in Hindu mythology, you have the third eye of Shiva. Only when your third eye of Gyan opens, your Shiv, Swarup, Atma, you will realize, and then there will be total destruction of karma and kasha. Okay, so that is the mythology of the Shiva Puran or whatever it is. So Dravya Drishti says, see yourself. Parjay nay kari gaun. Let the paryay be. You give it secondary importance. You give primary importance to the eternal pure self. So even if karma is there, let it be. Kasha is there, let it be. But I am the eternal pure soul. Rejoice in that thought. So that is the Ekatva Bhavana. With one quick example, I will close the lecture. I'll give you one beautiful example. there is sugar and salt mixed in a bag. Sugar and salt mixed in a bag. Now you cannot use it as salt also. You cannot use it as sugar also. You cannot use that mixture to sweeten your milk. You cannot use that mixture to put it in your sabji also. Clear? Got it? So now, this is just an analogy. You have to understand that sugar is Atma and salt is karma and kashai and all the thoughts that we get. Clear? And both are together in this body. Now, what we have to do to make the sugar sweet? The sugar is sweet only, no? We just have to realize it is sweet. But now that sweetness is not going to help. So when you meditate on, now listen to me very carefully. When you meditate, now leave that analogy. Take the example. When you meditate on the sugar, not sugar like, the sweet Atma, the karma ka saltness will go off. But in material life, if you meditate on the sugar, the salt will disassociate. No, it cannot be there. Don't apply this over there and don't apply that over here. This is just an analogy, and all analogies have their limitations. Okay, so Atma is divine. Atma is pure. Atma is Gyan Swabhav. And Atma is, when I meditate on this Atma only, I'm going to get Samyak Darshan. I'm going to get Keval Gyan. I'm going to get Moksha. So they are all byproducts. But I am a factory from where the pearls of Keval Gyan are going to come. The Keval Gyan Paryaya are going to come. So when you focus on that sweet, that beautiful, that little Gyan Swabhav, which is like a spark. And when you light that spark, it becomes the flame of Keval Gyan. Okay, so bhavana is nothing but wishing for it. Wishing for that oneness. Oh, that day will be an auspicious day when I will realize myself. That day will be an auspicious day when I will absorb in myself oneness and self. And that day will be an auspicious day when I will never come out of it. That state is moksha. That state is enlightenment. That state is liberation. Until then, we will keep wandering. We will keep having all good and bad experiences. We get carried away by them. So this journey is also endless, and that spiritual journey is also endless. So with these few words, I would like to end my talk. And thank you, Jaina. Thank you, Prabhaji. Thank you all listeners for your patient hearing and for the opportunity. Jai Jinendra, Jai Mahavir.
Jai Jinendra, thank you very much, Priyaji. Excellent presentation. I hope a lot of people got their Ekatva Bhavana understood, cleared. Today is our Kshamapana. We do associate with others, so we are asking for forgiveness. But yet, we need to ponder upon this fact that in spite of being in the society, in spite of being with people, we are still alone. And if we could learn to be alone, that should be our goal. So just wanted to bring another point here. Claudia is with us, and she is saying that her dog also comes and sits here and tries to listen to these lectures. Isn't that interesting? Just give me 1 second here. Priyadarshanaji, where did she go? Oh. Okay. So we are going to go on to the questions and for this Ekatva Bhavana. They're very simple. Hopefully you all have understood these the Ekatva Bhavana that she talked about. And let's start with those now. Okay. So first question, what is the difference between Bhav and Bhavana? I think she said that in the beginning of the lecture. Claudia, are you raising hand?
No, but she was talking about the Bhav is just the nanosecond, the moment. Bhavna is the dedicated attention to.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. So bhav is very momentary and bhavana is lasting long. Okay. And bhav can be understood as bhavna sometimes, reflecting or contemplating on a particular aspect for longer period, right? Now, why ekatva bhavna is placed fourth?
Because it follows in the order of there is
Please unmute yourself.
there's almost a hierarchy. Sorry, there's almost a hierarchy of bhavnas, right? They sort of all stack one on top of the other, right? So if you start off with the first one, which is basically anitya, the fact that is that we are completely, we are permanent, but the rest of everything else is totally temporary. So as a result of that, there is no shelter, right? So which becomes the second bhavna. And then the third is as a result of the sansar, we are asar. And following that, therefore, the only obvious thing is that we have to be ekatva.
Yes,
Right?
so we have to be by ourselves. Sansar asar hai. Yesterday we established that the sansar is not worth being in because it's, you keep going round and round and there's no end to it. So when will the end come? If we be within ourselves. So the ekatva bhavna. Very good. Okay, so next question is, what is the most beautiful thing in the entire universe?
Our souls, our jiv,
Yes.
Nij jiv.
Nijji,
Atma.
Atma. Yes. Next, why is it beautiful and worth pursuing? What are the qualities of Nij Bhagwan Atma?
It's Gyan Swabhav, it is pure, right?
Yes, that's the only one that can know everything else. Nobody else has that quality. Only our soul has that knowing quality. That's why it's the most beautiful thing. What is the reference of Nami Rajrishi? I know our junior presenter told us that story of Nami Rajashri, with the bangles and all that. Where did that come from? She's looking for
Uttaradhyayam, chapter
Yes.
9.
Very good.
Here's another sermon.
What triggered his oneness with his pure soul?
The
Yeah, we're
absence,
talking about Nami Rajarishi.
the absence of all the other bangles and just having the one bangle that didn't make any noise and yet was able to perform.
Very good. Yes, the bangles. Very good. What is the message of 5 fingers? First, you can even, whoever remembers what all she said in the 5 fingers, let's recap on that. What was the first finger?
Atma, Nijatma,
That was the Nijatma. What was the second finger?
that was everything else. It was your sansar.
Sansar, basically, yes. Everything other than you is the second. If you keep hold of this, then what happens?
Then you basically you build karma and bondages.
Ashra.
Ashrapan.
Okay. And then?
And then if you actually remember who you are and you follow through on it, then there is samvar and
Yes,
nirjara.
if you get these 2 down, then you get samvar and nirjara. And you only focus on this and you get moksha. Right? Okay, very good. Okay. So lonely is a negative emotion, which can lead. What is the difference between lonely and alone?
Lonely is you're constantly thinking and wanting something or someone. And being alone is just being by yourself without feeling the loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Being content with oneself.
Yes, lonely means you're longing to
For
be
something.
other people.
Yep.
So you have a desire to be other people, but you're left alone, right? So it's a negative emotion.
Correct.
It's a, like, which can lead to depression and other mental health issues. Whereas enjoying the company of one's pure self all alone, whether in a group or in solitude, is a great spiritual virtue. So you could be in a party, you could be in a group and still be with yourself. You could just be an observer. Okay, you could be in a, like, you're going in a flight, there's how many, you go from here to India, 15-hour flight. How many passengers are there? 300 or more, depending on how big the flight is. So you are with all those people, right? Going to India, you're together for all those hours. Are you really together? You have no idea what that third row person, who he is or what he's doing. Technically, you're by yourself. So same way, when you're in this world, even though you may know people, you may have relatives, still if you contemplate that, no, I'm just my own self. I'm just observing whatever is happening around me, whoever is around me. Okay. The next question. Where is real happiness?
Within ourselves.
Yes. But how do you get to know yourself? In
By
the right knowledge.
through meditation and constantly asking who am
First,
I?
you have to have the right knowledge. Remember, you have to know the soul, then be in it.
Yes.
So, and when should I contemplate on Ekatva Bhavana?
All the time, every time.
Very good. Very good. So we can contemplate on Ekatva Bhavana 24/7. And when we do this, we will not, like during COVID, there was especially in the beginning 3 months or whatever it was, right? So if you were not with your family, let's say you were left alone, and people would say, oh my God, I cannot meet anybody. I mean, a lot of people actually went into depression. They couldn't step out of the house because of the fear. But if they had Ekatva Bhavana, they would be happier. There's nobody to disturb me. And I'm by myself. And speaking of that, I just wanted to pass along Claudia's comment here. She's saying, she just wanted us to know that whenever we teach, her dog comes in the room to listen. His name is Solomon. How appropriate for today's topic. Solo man.
Good one.
Can I connect? Oh, Priyaji wants to say something.
And he's
I want
10 years old. Let me finish. And he's 10 years old, but he's been specially aware since he was a puppy. So we know any Panchendriya Jeev, anybody with 5 senses and mind, and dog is one of them, can do any of these bhavanas. Okay. So, so that was my joke of the day. Did Priyaji want to say something? I don't think she was saying something. So if you wanted to say something.
She's on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, she's trying to say.
I missed the joke. I was busy with my Swadhyay right now. So I'll catch up on the YouTube and then I'll send a comment.
Okay, no problem.
I just
Okay,
want to
whoever else wanted to say
Oh,
something.
Claudia.
Yeah,
Can
he
somebody
said
repeat the joke? Can somebody
he-
repeat the joke?
Okay, I will repeat it. Okay, listen now, Priyadarshnaji. Claudia sent a message saying that she just wanted me to know that whenever I teach,
Okay.
Claudia's dog in the room to listen. Now, listen to his name. His name is Solomon.
Oh, okay,
Solomon.
okay.
So it was so appropriate for today's bhavana.
Yes.
And he's 10 years old. Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Good,
so
good.
that's why we are saying it's the joke of the day. But anyway, anybody else
joke-
to contribute
I
something?
was gonna say Claudia, joke apart, when I was young in my town and the monks were there in the town and they were giving lectures every day, from 9 to 10 or something, there was a lecture. So men and women, they sit in their places, and then there is an entrance area, either cemented or with rocks. That's the
Sure.
entrance area where people leave their shoes. This dog would come every day when the lecture starts and leave as soon as lecture is over. And I remember this not only when I was young, but also when I was in college and I used to go for vacation time, and I would find the same thing. When I lived in the US, I would go back for my vacation, and whenever there were monks around, I'd go and I still observe that. So
Huh.
there must, this is, as Prabha mentioned, Panchendriya with mind, they are capable to process information or emotions. They can understand when there is a peaceful thing being said about them or for them or whatever. So we cannot understand them, but we can think of these things, possibilities. And and Mahavir Bhagwan, in one of his prior births, he was a lion.
I remember
And,
Harak told me that story.
oh, okay. So uh, he the monks came and gave him an understanding of who he is, and he remembered his past or whatever it is. They understand through the expressions or whatever you want to call the non-verbal part. They may not understand our language, but the non-verbal communication exists, and they can get the idea. That's all. That's it.
Thank you. You're mute, Prabha.
Sorry about that. Do we have any questions for Priyaji before we end the session? Is somebody trying to say something?
Another fantastic lecture. This is very well done. Thank you, G.
I thought I heard some noises. Maybe is somebody unmuted? Okay.
Thank you, Rupal. Thank you.
Sure.
Priyaji gives a lot of information from a lot of places, connecting the dots. So there's a reference from here, there, different kinds of authors, different kinds of books, and connects them. So there's a lot of information. We can one can absorb them, relate them, and learn this technique of connecting to whatever topic you are on. You can connect with something which is in a totally different topic, but they are all related because soul is related to everything we do and read. It's all about soul. So it's very beautifully done. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
And again, tomorrow we will have the next bhavana, that is Anyatva Bhavana, and that will be presented by Kinnariji. And junior presenter will be Umed Maru. And then we'll go on. Priyaji will also be back with us for another 2 to 3 days. And with this, we will end our session. Let's see here. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi अविनाशी हूँ आत्मस्वरूप निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है। जय जिनेन्द्र everybody. Michhami Dukadam.
Jai Jinendra, Michhami Dukadam. Thank you.
Very generous.
Jinendra, thank you.